Welcome to another episode, a late night episode of the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. You just got Wayne and Tim tonight. You know what I'm saying? Other guys act like they got social lives or something. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. But hey, it was an exciting win tonight. I know some people gonna feel like, well, first of all, Utah's a decent team. They've been on a bad run lately. But for the Sixers to travel yesterday, they came into Utah. They got off to an early lead. Utah battled back to their credit, and Sixers held off. You had Embiid and Harden, our stars, brought it home down the stretch. Embiid hit the big basket at the end, and Harden hit a lot of timely baskets. Harden tonight, I thought Harden had an outstanding game tonight. Like he hit clutch basket after clutch basket. Like it was like when Utah was making a run, like Harden hit the little boom, step back, open three, back. Like he was making them. He was making. You know, Master Crab. Tim's still gonna come in here and hate on Embiid because that's what haters do. They hate regardless of what, you know what I'm saying. But I felt encouraged at this game because to me, Maxey looked like Maxey in the first half. Anyway, in the first half of the game, Maxey was hitting open threes. He was running. He was making plays. I thought he could have got a couple foul calls that he didn't get. You know what I'm saying? It was a solid team game. But your superstars, or I'm sorry, because some people don't consider Harden a superstar anymore, but Harden and Embiid carried us to this one down. Your star players brought this game home, and this is what you expect from them. What you got, Tim? Go ahead.
Listen, we're fortunate to win this game. No, let's not. We had a 20-point lead, and our big man down the stretch was making all kinds of silly mistakes. He hit the game winner, so I'm going to give him his props for hitting the game winner. But he made silly turnovers at the end.
You know he only had 2 turnovers on the whole game, right?
But the critical one, the one that was the most...
He had 2 turnovers.
All right. You do realize he didn't... You know why they came back a lot? Guess how many rebounds he had for the night? Your starting center.
No. You said turnovers.
No.
You said turnovers.
No, I'm saying he made a critical mistake at the end. Then his elbow jumper was just off. It was just that elbow jumper.
Was it?
Down the stretch, he wasn't. Then
I mean, he shot 9 for 18, 50%, and shot 2 for 3 from 3 for 66%. Where's all this off and terrible game from Embiid from?
Go back and watch the game. The fourth quarter, he wasn't nothing. He had missed a wide open dunk,
and he made the game winner.
He made the game. That's why I said I'm not gonna take away. I can't take away the game winner. But
he shot 50%. You hating and he shot 50% with only 2 turnovers, and you hating.
I'm hating. Stop. I'm hating. But 4 rebounds. 4 rebounds.
Okay.
4 rebounds.
Okay.
That's
exactly. And a lot of their rebounds do come because they know Embiid is the big man, so they're going to go ahead and they're going to box Embiid out, and that's when other guys I get stuff.
Utah had big men who were
okay.
I'm looking at Utah, but then one big man had 10 rebounds.
For the record, Tim, Embiid had 7 rebounds. So you can keep the 4 rebounds you screaming. Maybe you saw that stat in the third quarter or something. He ended with 7. He had 30 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks on 9 for 18, shooting 50%, 2 for 3 from 3.66%.
You watch that.
He went 10 for 13 from free throw.
Down the stretch.
Man, stop it. Stop it.
Down the stretch. Joel Embiid played
down the stretch,
hot garbage.
Down the stretch, he hit a game winner.
After he played, he put us
down the stretch. He hit a game winner.
Put us in that situation. He put us in that situation.
Scenarios. I think Embiid averages double digits on rebound. I think he averaging like 30 points and 10 rebounds, something like that.
Your center got to have more than some 7 rebounds in the game. But I mean, it was a team win. We was on the road. Now, Maxey did get injured. I'm a little worried about him. I don't know what it is. I hope it just don't start a pattern of him being injured. But he did get injured towards the end. I got to talk about the boy Jordan Clarkson.
I'm still trying to figure out how you hating on Embiid and Master Crab was hating on Harden. They had 30 and 31. Harden had 31, 11, and 6.
Oh,
man, y'all gotta listen.
Harden was the
no. Yeah, but I'm talking about MOTC hating on Harden. But you hating on Embiid. Y'all are ridiculous. Y'all are ridiculous. And you hate on Embiid. But this is why it's ridiculous. It's a team sport. They balled.
Mine is a legit criticism. I'm saying his elbow jumper wasn't on today. Clearly, I don't know if he was still bothered by that little foot injury that he had, but he wasn't his best down the stretch. Down the stretch, he wasn't his best. You got to admit
till he hit the game winner.
He hit the game winner, yes, and he's going.
And he shot 50% for the game. It's called law of averages. But that being said, I do agree with Bass and a couple other people here. Harden was the MVP of the game.
Harden was by far.
Because Harden was, I ain't gonna necessarily say by far because you're not winning without Embiid's 30 either. So I mean, you could say by far you want, and a lot of that stuff, a lot of these guys get open stuff off of Embiid getting the attention that he gets. But that being said, Harden hit clutch basket. This is what we wanted from Harden. We seen Harden hit the open shots. We seen him hit his little step back. We seen Harden like when he was going in the paint and he looked like 2K right there. He did like that back hit the little teardrop. Like it was vintage Harden.
Yeah, man, Harden did ball out. He definitely balled out. He hit like 3 3-pointers in that fourth quarter. He did a heat check. That was doing. He tried to do his dribble, step back.
I ain't mad at it. You got to heat check that.
Yeah, but then he came back and hit a nice little mid-range jump shot. I mean, every time, because Jordan Clarkson kept coming at. That's why I say I got to give that man his props. That ball, I don't think, did he play the night before? I think he took off. I don't know if he played the night before, but he was fresh. He was killing us. What did he finish with? 38 points.
Yeah.
9 rebounds.
I mean, he killed us. I think he sometimes if I'm not mistaken, I would have to check the stats, but I think that he got off against us a few times, Pauls.
Oh yeah.
Horton Tucker had his 20 in 28 minutes.
Yo, he actually was pretty solid. I don't know him, but he was giving us the business. I mean, we had a 20-point lead. Think about this. We had a 20-point lead. See this why I don't listen to some of the stuff you say. Horton Tucker shot 5 for 10. He was giving us the business. B shot 9 for 18, and B stunk tonight. See, that ain't stop. See, this why you got to stop. Different. It's different.
This what you got to stop with.
Embiid wasn't himself. He just wasn't himself.
Yeah, you're right. He was 30 and 7. I'll take that. I mean, he only got 2 blocks. Yeah, I mean, that was horrible. You know, yeah. I mean, yeah. Embiid was hard. Embiid stunk it up.
I'm not asking for perfection, but
he only had 2 turnovers and 2 fouls. Embiid was horrible. Oh yeah, he was horrible.
You're looking at the stats.
Hey, I am.
The game.
And I'm watching the game too.
And down the stretch, he was making a lot of silly mistakes towards the end, but he did hit the game.
You seen a lot of silly. What was the silly mistakes? What was all the silly mistakes he made?
The things like I don't want to say mistake. He missed a lot of shots. He missed a lot of shots down the stretch that could have just kept everything even. Like he missed a couple of elbow jumpers. He missed the dunk. He threw the ball away. These were 4 straight possessions where he missed the elbow jumper, missed the dunk, threw the ball away. All those things happened like consecutively.
Now that I'll give you. Now that I will give you because it happened that close together. But when you look at the whole game, he had a bad stretch. Now it just so happened that it happened down the stretch of the game. Yeah. Right? But then he also came back and hit the game winner.
That's why, and I give him his props. I said he hit the game winner. I give him his props, but that stretch could have been the game,
but it wasn't.
But I'm just saying.
See, we talking about if it coulda, woulda, shoulda, and I get it. It wasn't an MVP. It wasn't an MVP type game that he had. But for us to come, listen, the man had 30 and 7 on 50% shooting, and we talking like he stunk it up tonight. And he only had 2 turnovers. Any other time, Embiid with all the turnovers, he got 5, 6. He had 2 turnovers. One just happened to be late in the game.
Well, that's that when did the turnover happen? We looking at the game. We're enjoying the win.
So what about defense? Wasn't Embiid active on defense? Was he helping at all on defense?
Embiid did. He was solid. He was solid.
Listen. I get it. And Sergeant Bass, I agree with both things you said. I don't necessarily think B's 30 was quiet because I think early on in the game, B dictated a lot of stuff and it caused them. And this is why you need a team. Like for real, this is why you need a team. Like it's not the air. no matter how, even though it's big names, you need a team to win because for the most part, you might have a guy that carry like Beat might come in and get like a 45 and 12 or 45-15 or something like that once in a while, but you can't rely on that type stuff. And this is why teams go out and they looking for multiple star players because you need other players to step up. That's what I'm saying. To me, even though I don't like the fact that we allowed them to come back in it, they were at home, they battled back. But to me, I like the fact that I seen my 2-star players carry the load down the stretch and we won.
They was missing like 3 starters. They played last night and
we was missing Toby. Okay.
So we played better.
They played last night. We're at home, right?
I don't know where I think they came in.
Sixers was on a plane last night. Sixers played the night before, and they caught a flight the first thing in the morning, and they played late game.
I'm talking about. Let's see what they do. Like tomorrow, we got the Lakers tomorrow night. Y'all better be up here. Oh, y'all better be up tomorrow too, when we can play. Everybody should be off on Monday, so it should be a nice long.
Off on Monday. That ain't no real holiday.
It is too a real holiday.
Man, that ain't no real holiday except for nobody except for y'all.
Respect Martin Luther King.
I'm not. It ain't got nothing to do with Martin Luther King. That President's Day, I don't get off for them.
You don't get off MLK?
No.
Oh my God.
Unless you work for a bank or a school, like everybody ain't getting off for them days like that. Stop.
Y'all need a union. That's a federal holiday.
I don't need it. I don't need a union. I get 5 vacation weeks a year. I don't need no union. What I care about are one Monday.
Well, they need to give you 5 plus 1. They need to give you an extra day. Honor that man.
I'm Gucci.
But this was a good anyway. Y'all better be up for the Lakers game tomorrow too. But this was a good win. This is a 5-game road trip. So we got game 1.
Yeah.
So I'm looking. I want to see. I think we can go 4-1. I know you were saying 3-2 would be okay for you.
I definitely think we can go 4-1. But I'm saying if it's 3-2, just because of the fact, like for instance, this is a back-to-back. So but I'm not pressed about all these teams that we're about to face. I mean, I don't think the teams that, like I think you had said, I think you said the other night, Sacramento's the one that's playing, oh no, my Ephraim might have been the one to say, but Sacramento's been balling a little bit, but a lot of these teams in the West been getting on a little bit of the slide. Hey, who said that? Is a X-Man. I get PTO. I get 5 weeks vacation a year. I get plenty of PTO. I wish it was a holiday because I would definitely work that day and make that double time, that overtime. But I ain't worried about that. But that being said, so we don't play. We usually play like Martin Luther King Day, but we don't play this year, right? Because we playing tomorrow.
We got the Lakers, the Clippers, Portland, Sacramento.
Now the Clippers game is going to be a tough one, I think.
Clippers,
because remember that we came back to win, beat them. Yeah. The Clippers to me might be the game I think we will probably lose. If I had to choose a game that I think that we
could lose,
wouldn't be. I would pick that one to be the game.
I mean, that's what I would too, because I think we're okay with the Lakers. Portland, I think we're fine with them, and we definitely fine with Sacramento. So I would say the Clippers. That'd probably be the game. That'd be our 3rd game in 4 nights anyway. So I'm looking at. I wouldn't be surprised if we lost that game.
Hey, Sergeant Bass, Embiid ain't sitting that game out. You think Embiid going to sit out a primetime game against the Lakers?
He was.
You see the game you think Embiid going to sit out?
But you saw his face. He was pouting a little bit at the end of the game, like I'm in so much pain. Ow, ow. That's how he was.
See. That
was the way. That was Embiid's pout face.
No, he might, but you know why? See this, and this is what I say, man. Let's keep it a bean. Michael Jordan was a drama queen, but everybody talk. Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player to play, in my opinion. And I think if I was drafting from the whole history of the NBA, LeBron would be the first player I'd take, either LeBron or Shaq. That being said, I think that Michael Jordan is the GOAT player. I just think Bron and Shaq is like more unique, you know what I'm saying, than everybody else. But that being said, Michael Jordan did a whole lot of remember the flu game? He walked around, got Scotty carrying. Mike did a whole lot of the limping back, and then all of a sudden hit the game winner. So let's stop with the picking and choosing when we want to say somebody, you know what I'm saying, pouting and all that other stuff. Mike cussed refs out. He just didn't get called for it.
Wait. So y'all saying because Embiid tripped All right. So I guess. So you saw when Embiid tripped and then his face off round up. So everybody making an excuse for Embiid. That's what they do.
Is
That's
it an excuse if it's actually what happened?
All right. He slipped. So hopefully he'll be better. Hopefully he'll be able to play tomorrow and play. And play better down the stretch.
Who that? Who said Sergeant Bass? You think Maxey regrets? How can you say that? He just came back from a long stretch. He had 21 tonight. Like the way that he was balling early on, it takes time to get back in the flow of that, man. And when you out that long, it takes some time, especially depending on your type of game. Like for real, look at Embiid. It took Embiid a little bit to get back in the flow, but Embiid game a little bit different because he's a big man, whereas though he don't necessarily have to be beating people up and down the court. Maxey's game is built on speed. Maxey game is built on speed. It takes some time to get your legs back under you. Ain't he Marshawn Lynch? Tim is a hater, bro. Let me tell you. First thing he said when he came in here, he was like, B stunk it up. B choke. B. He hit the game winner.
Embiid hit the game winning shot, so I can't take that away from him. He came down there and hit a nice money shot to win the game. So that's good. But what I'm saying is down the stretch, when that game was close, he made a lot of crucial, he had a lot of misses. Turnover. He did a lot of bad things.
He had one turnover.
It was a turnover. It was two missed elbow jumpers, and it was a missed dunk.
See, to me, a missed elbow jumper, that's not you talking about that's not a mishap. That's just a missed shot.
Well, I'm just saying. That's what I said. He just didn't play.
But that's not a mishap. That's a missed shot. It's the law. It's called law of averages. You do realize you don't hit every shot. He shot 50%.
I know that. It was just Harden was setting him up nice because Harden balled. You gotta admit, down the stretch, especially that fourth quarter when we was leaking oil big time. The team was just like running out of gas. Nobody was hitting nothing. Harden was coming in, was making crucial, or I should say critical baskets.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I said to me, Harden was the player of the game.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
And that's what I said. What happened was Embiid wasn't making critical baskets, but he made the most critical basket. Which was the one that won the game. So I'm not hating. I'm not ripping Embiid. Everybody think I'm ripping Embiid. I'm not ripping him. I'm just saying he didn't play his best down the stretch. That's all I'm saying.
He had the game winner. And hey, listen, Marshawn, I agree. And this is how bad it is. See, honestly, it depends. That's why sometimes it depends how the flow of the game go, right? Imagine if the Sixers was down early and then they battled back and they won this game like this. It'd be like, oh, this was a great win. This was this. But because they were up and the other team made the run, the home team made the run to make it close, the Sixers still battled. It was a tight game down the stretch that the Sixers battled and came out on top. So to his point, like Milton did ball. Like it's even to that point where we're not even looking at Shake had 17. It was a solid 17. PJ even hit 50% shooting, 1 or 2. And listen, PJ is a hurt. It's still a sore. Hey, stop hating on it. Stop hating on his braids. Stop hating on B braids. He trying to rock the AIs. Him and Harden trying to rock the AIs. Let's have that Philly. Let's rock that Philly culture. Stop hating.
Take it out, buddy, when he get off the road.
I'd rather them braids than that nappy fro. I could see if he had the fro picked out like Doc or something. That don't look nappy. That nappy fro irritates me.
This is what the beat writer of the Philadelphia 76ers who travels with the team. He said Embiid had absolutely nothing going on, so of course he hits a one-legged dirt fadeaway to give the Sixers the lead with 4 seconds left.
I don't care what the beat writer's right. He was 50% shooting for the game.
You see what I'm saying? The same opinion I had without even reading, before even knowing this. He said the exact same thing. I was like,
listen, I don't care about those beat writers. They're like you. A lot of them have agendas. I don't care about them.
He travels with the team.
I don't care. I watch as much as he watched. He probably don't even watch the game. He probably on there texting his wife like, honey, I'll be home. You want me to send you some ice cream by Uber Eats? He ain't watching the game.
He had the exact same opinion that I had watching the game like you was watching.
Man, them beat writers is trash. They trash. Half of them ain't even played sports.
I'm just saying. Clearly, we was on. Oh yeah,
That beat writer was probably carrying jock straps in high school.
It was funny because we always have a lot of times when we play ball is always an argument about if the person out of bounds, can you throw the ball off of them and will it be still in bounds? But you had a perfect example today during the game where I think it was Maxey. He landed on the ground and the ball, I forget which player threw the ball. I think it was Clarkson threw the ball on him. And then they initially said it was the Sixer ball, but then after the replay, they said it was Utah's ball. So that should clear the air for any balls that be out there that be playing ball. Even if you land out of bounds, if you still throw the ball at that person, that game is still remains in their possession. You agree with that?
What you saying? If somebody's in the air and they throw the ball off somebody's back?
Yeah, why they out of bounds? Like both of y'all running out of bounds, but you didn't land yet, but you got the ball. If you hit the ball while he's out of bounds, that's still, as long as you hit him, you keep the ball.
Yeah, if he's out of bounds.
Yeah.
Well, see, this is what you got to understand too. And this, I have this argument with people a lot. The NBA, you do realize the NBA changes rules because the rule was before that was you couldn't hit it off somebody that was already out of bounds.
Exactly.
But that rule has been changed. I mean, it's a few rules that's like that. Like, it's a few rules that's changed. And that being said, when you out there and you run a street ball, everybody don't know about all the rule changes.
Exactly, but I'm just saying that happened today in the game because everybody be going back and forth, be arguing like, no, I was already out of bounds. Nope. Even if you out of bounds, if I hit you with the ball before I land, that's
so when we go run down the gym when the gym get back over, Tim gonna have that in his pocket. Like I remember I watched specifically.
Don't know. But no, I thought that was interesting because before you hit the air. But that was a good challenge by Utah though. And like
it was.
Sergeant Baz, I take the win too. I take the W. That's all that matters. Ain't nobody gonna think about this in 2 months when we battling for the number 1 or 2 seed. Like, well, we barely won that game. It counts just as a win in the books.
Right. And guess what? Cleveland lost tonight to the Timberwolves.
Yes. Good.
And let me see what else happened.
So we should.
Pacers lost to the Grizzlies. Boston won. Bucks lost to the Heat.
Bucks gonna fall a little bit more, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah, see, I and this all I'm saying, right?
Oh yeah,
and I get it. I see in Philly, we're emotional, and I get it. That's what makes honestly, I think the Philly fan base, and this is just not me being a homer and everything else. I think the Philly fan base is one of the best fan bases around. I'm not gonna say the best because then it sounds like I'm a homer, and I haven't been in the other one's culture as much, but Philly fan base, I think our fans for the most part are smart to the game.
Yeah.
Our only downfall is we're so emotional about it. Like we get caught up, like we'll get to where as though we hate a certain player so much, or we might have had an idea. That's just like some people might have wanted Halliburton over Harden. So it's like anytime Harden have any kind of see we should got Halliburton, or even I'll even put myself out there. Like that's even like when Jalen Hurts. When the Eagles were talking about bringing Jalen Hurts, I felt like I didn't want Jalen Hurts to be the quarterback. I wanted them to have a quarterback competition. That's what I said. Have a quarterback competition. Don't just give it to him. But and I was critical of Hurts. But then when I'm watching them play, I'm like, I can't be critical of him no more. At a certain point, you have to give up the hating on Embiid because you hated on Embiid and he's so hurt. And like Andy Reid said, enjoy the win. Oh, yeah. Enjoy the players we got. We got Harden. We got Embiid. We got Maxey. There's no need to hate on one player because we love another one. Like that. Let's embrace the team. Even PJ Tucker until we get rid of him.
No, I agree with you. It's just like but at the same time, we have to criticize our players. That's what we do. If you play well, we gonna say you play well. If you don't, you don't. Like Harden played well. We're not really being too critical of Harden. Because Harden, down in that fourth quarter, we needed them buckets bad, and we got them from him. But it's like in that fourth quarter with Embiid, he hit that game winner, so I'm going to give him his props for that game winner. But I do know he missed a couple elbow jumpers. He missed the dunk. I know that he had free throws. He split the free throws when we needed all of them. Like he did everything to help us lose. but fortunately he made the biggest basket of the game because it was the last
one. Hey, Jamar, I wasn't if I did kill you for that, because I don't think that Philly fans are more passionate than they are knowledgeable. I think they're very knowledgeable. I think when you say more passionate than knowledgeable, it's like saying somebody emotional. Hey, do we got women that watch this show? Huh? What'd you say?
I'm trying to call Philly fans women.
Yeah, see, I was good, but see, because as men, we're supposed to be reasonable and stuff, but women are more emotional creatures. So when you say somebody's more emotional than knowledgeable, to me, that's like saying, you don't even know. You're just so caught up in your emotions. You don't know. See, to me, Philly fans know, but because they're so passionate, they know, and they'll try to find any little thing to hate on stuff because it's like they want to prove that they're right.
That's not true scenario. I do not think. I don't want them to be perfect, but down the stretch, I want you to play well. That's it.
Hey, Charlie M, you gotta let it go, bro. Why you hate on the Eagles so bad? Like this all I say to anybody. Now I've grown over the years, and I realized that people are going to like who they're going to like. So you may be a Sixers fan, not an Eagles fan. That used to get me mad. I ain't gonna hold you because I'm all about. That's just like we all Philly people here. That's like I went to Bartram. What I look like going to Bartram and rooting for West. You know what I'm saying? What I look like going to Bartram and rooting for Bach. I don't even know if those schools are still around. Who knows now? But like back in the day, it was like Bartram and West was rivals. What I look like rooting for West, and I go to Bartram. So to me, that's what it looked like to me. Somebody that live in Philly and root for the Cowboys. Like that's unfathomable to me. But as I've aged and I've grown, people for whatever reasons like whatever team they like, and I get that. But at some point, man, listen, when we win, when the Phillies win, we all in Philly, we get to go down to that parade. You get to enjoy that parade. When the Eagles won, we get to go to that parade. It's in your home city. Everybody in your city feeling they on that vibe and this, that, and the other. It's nothing like being in that city than being a part of that city when we win. So and Philly, and let's keep it a bean. Philly's had their share of winning situations lately, as of late, like in the last. And then I know it ain't like we've been a dynasty or anything, but there's not a lot of teams that win for real. If you look at finals and Super Bowls and stuff, it's not a lot of teams that win.
Yeah,
like it's
State Lakers,
right? Golden State, whatever team Brown was on for years. You know what I'm saying? The Spurs. Like at one point, it's like you looking like how many coaches actually won as finals. At one point, like it was like the only ones that had won the finals that been there was like it was like 4 or 5 coaches that had actually won the finals like about a few years ago before the Bucks won. So, I'm just saying, like, come on, man. I just enjoy the city. Be a part of the brother. We the city of brotherly love. Let's go. And I know some of y'all still gonna be hating Cowboy fans.
Yeah, well, it was a good win. I game 104. So we want to know. So I'll take it. I just want to give a shout out to my man Dougie P. He brought his team back. I mean, he changed.
I didn't even know they won until you told me something. I swear they lost. That boy had like 3 interceptions in the first quarter. I was like, this dude.
Yeah, the boy Trevor Lawrence, he redeemed himself because he started. He had 4 interceptions, and he came back. And Doug Pederson was like, "Yo, we're gonna speed up the offense. We're gonna make them work," and that changed the entire game for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They came back. And
hopefully our young fella won't be making excuses in case he plays bad.
Nah, I ain't gonna make he won't make no excuses.
Well, you definitely was trying to make some excuses.
Well,
yeah, Charlie, they came back and won. I ain't even know, bro. I stopped watching. Tim came on and said Jacksonville. I was like, yeah, they stunk. He was like, no, they won.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
They came back. Dougie P. He's a great coach. That's the only thing we letting him walk out of here. I don't know if was such a good thing because sometimes you need the coach to win a game for you or change up. And I don't know what Sirianni and Shane Steichen, what they capable of doing. So I don't know.
See, and this where I'll say with stuff like that. How will you know he can or he will unless he do? Because let's face it, when Dougie P was coach and we was losing in the playoffs and we was losing stuff until that year, people was questioning Dougie P. Oh, you running too much. You just people was questioning Dougie P.
He won his second year of coaching, though. Do you understand that?
He didn't win his second year of coaching.
Why not?
Dougie P won his second year coaching.
Second year, he won a Super Bowl.
So he wasn't coaching Wentz first year.
No, Wentz. Yeah, he drafted Wentz. And the second year, Wentz had a good year, and he went 13-1.
It's so long ago, Brian. I had to look that up.
But Dougie, that's what I said. Dougie P he established his offense, and this year he did the exact same thing. He got his team. They went through a low period, then they got hot right at the right time. He's a good coach. I darn near say he's a great coach.
Yeah, I will hold back on the greats just yet.
I mean, he's won on every level. He got a Super Bowl as a player, as a coach.
Hold up. See this. See. This where Ephraim shut up. Don't nobody want to hear you, Ephraim, because you ain't on here. You ain't working right now. He in the chat.
You off.
Don't sit up. Don't you dare sit up here. Dougie P got a championship as a coach and a player. He was on the roster. He ain't do nothing to win on as no player.
Did he get one as a player?
Tim, stop.
Did he get one as a player?
Okay. You know what? You know who else got one as a player?
Who?
Carson Wentz.
Okay. As an injured player.
No. You keep the same energy. The same way I'm not going to sit there, and Carson Wentz did more for his team that won a championship than Dougie P did for his.
That's not trying. Pederson, his job was to make sure that his quarterback, that Brett Favre, was on point, that he was together. He the one that was calling the signals into his head. He's part of it. Don't hate him, man.
So who we giving that credit to? Andy Reid or Doug Pederson?
For
Brett Favre.
For Brett Favre? 50-50.
Brett Favre give no credit. You just get 50. Can't make this stuff up. Hey, listen. As far as games go, though, this was an entertaining game. Like I'm not gonna hold you. Like if you wasn't sitting up on the edge of your seat watching as they went back and forth, hitting big baskets and big plays after big plays, this was an enjoying game to watch. So I'm glad we just came out on top. We'll see what happened tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But listen, everybody, the Phillies starting the ball. The Phillies making moves in the offseason. The Phillies about to be primed. That they made it to the World Series. They primed to go back, bro. They putting some arms in that bullpen.
Yeah, but still, the Mets still have the
no. You're not looking at the moves the Phillies are making. The Phillies got that offense, but now they got high power arms in their bullpen. They went out and got them pitchers.
I'm saying they got their bullpen is strong. They did build up their bullpen, but still, I want to know what their number 1, 2, 3 starters. What they gonna be like?
Their starters was all right. Their starters was solid.
You
ain't think Nolan? I don't know why I'm forgetting.
He did not pitch well in the series. No, he didn't.
In what series? They made it to the World Series. He played bad the whole playoffs?
No, I'm just talking about against Houston.
Listen.
He even had an extra.
Sometimes you have to realize Houston was that squad. Sometimes you gotta, sometimes you gotta realize, all right, that's like when Brian went up against Golden State when Golden State had KD and Steph and all. Golden State was that squad. Sometimes you gotta realize a team is when Mike was with the Bulls was that squad.
And they cheated for Mike a little bit too.
No, they did, but all I'm saying is if a team is that squad, sometimes they're just a better team. Houston was the better team that beat the Phillies. That's why the Phillies are making moves now to get better. So I'm saying that we got the Phillies, we got the Eagles, not Dougie, what's his name? The GM. I've been giving them gripe over the years. Howie.
Marshawn Lynch.
Howie, I've been giving Howie gripe over the years. Howie's making moves again.
Yes.
Howie's making all the right moves, and this is what he did in the Super Bowl year. Hopefully it does the same thing this time. But the Sixers, we got to give and a lot of people was panicking, and let's not panic every time with the Sixers. Like we right there out of the second and third place. Boston, I think, is going to run away with first place, but we right there. We not far behind with everything, and I got faith in the Sixers. I think the Sixers have enough talent. Anytime you have as big a hole as you do on your starting five as PJ Tucker has been, and you're still right there, I got confidence in the Sixers.
I was looking at the board from because every time we play somebody, I always look at who's their starting small forward or forward, and they had the ball. I think his name Vanderbilt that was playing for them. Because I don't need nobody that's offensively that's dominant offensively, especially when we're playing with PJ. But we can get somebody that's athletic, like 6'8", an athlete that can defend those great small forwards that we're going to be facing with. If we get somebody like that, it'd be cool because the Bulls averaging 8 points, 8 rebounds, 6'8".
Yeah,
that's somebody that I wouldn't mind is picking up, but we can get somebody like that. So,
no, I agree. I mean, out of the PJ spot, we get nothing too many times.
No, yeah,
there's too many games we get nothing out of that position.
He just looked like he's working hard, as Ethan was saying.
Well, yeah. Scenarios. The Eagles' injuries, it don't concern me as much. Like which injuries you talking about? Because Josh Sweat is back to practicing. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's huge for the line. I don't think that Hurts. I thought Hurts looked good enough in the game when he against the Giants, and I think that he was playing a little low key. I don't think that that's necessarily going to bother us as much. Like, what's the big key? Lane Johnson, I think, ain't he practicing again? So
he playing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And we sitting off. We got a whole bye week. The Eagles don't play again until next week. Meanwhile, they're going to be playing a team that plays on Monday night. It's no way the Eagles should lose that game. We at home against either Tampa or Dallas, who's playing Monday night. If for real, they should give us a Saturday game.
No.
If they gave us a Saturday game, if I was a Tampa or Dallas fan and we played Monday night and then they make us turn around and play Saturday, I'd be mad. I'd be heated.
I think we was going to get a Saturday game if somebody lost. I forgot how that scenario worked. They said we either play Saturday or one team lost and play Sunday. But before we get out of here, I do want to wrap this up. But another one of the Sixers reporters said this is the second game in a row where we didn't make adjustments on the hot shooter, and that is concern. What are we doing when we see a guy that's cooking? What adjustments is Doc Rivers and his coaching staff is making? They're really not making those key adjustments when you know somebody getting off. Like, what are you doing? We're not doing no strong double or anything at these Bulls. So I think
I agree.
That's a concern.
I agree. At a certain point, this is where it's Doc. I think that's what it's going to come down to in the playoffs. It's going to come down to Doc, and hopefully Doc learns enough, about the old dog new trick. I will say that I do think at times Doc has shown that he's willing to adapt with certain stuff. Right now, his biggest problem is that PJ Tucker thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know what, if anything is being told to him from up top, like how to address that situation. But evidently he's made some adjustments because PJ's not getting that 30-something minutes a game that he was getting before. So
I need him to get like 15. All right, y'all, we're going to wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
Y'all know what to do. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to us on Twitter, YouTube, the whole nine. Thanks for watching. We see y'all tomorrow after the game. Lakers, Sixers on the road. We out.
E from being here, not in the chat.
Exactly.